Virtual reality has finally come of age following the release of three long-awaited new systems. For PC gaming, the consumer version of Oculus Rift and HTC's Vive have significantly raised the bar, while PlayStation's VR headset is the first console-based system. There are also a host of cheaper models that link to your mobile phone, for those looking to dip their toe into the world of virtual reality without breaking the bank. The key question to ask yourself before buying a VR headset is whether you want a mobile or tethered headset. Tethered v mobile headsets. What does that mean? Well, mobile headsets such as Google's Daydream and Samsung's Gear are essentially plastic or even cardboard frames with lenses inside. You simply buy a virtual reality app on your smartphone, place the phone inside the device and strap it to your head. The lenses then filter the app to give the virtual reality effects. Considering the apparent simplicity of the headset itself, the effect is surprisingly impressive. Simplicity also means most are very affordable at well under £100. The very cheapest cardboard models can be picked up for a few pounds. The smartphone is where the technology is, and an added bonus is that, unlike tethered systems, you don't need to connect any wires. The key downside is that, because phones aren't designed specifically for VR, the picture is never going to be as good as with PC or game console-based VR, such as Oculus or Vive. VR headset prices. The obvious trade-off with the tethered systems is the price. They are several times more expensive. They can also be slightly unwieldy, with wires attaching the headset to the console or PC, sometimes not ideal when you are trying to shoot aliens in a virtual reality world and you can't see the wire. However, you get used to where to place everything, so it causes minimal annoyance. Unlike phone headsets, tethered systems have all of the tech built in. This includes motion sensors and external camera trackers, which drastically improve how realistic the VR world feels. Your actual movements are far more faithfully reflected in glorious 3D. If you decide to take the plunge and go for one of the full tethered systems, you'll need to spend a few £100s to get all the relevant kit, but it's well worth it for a truly immersive experience. Of all the headsets we tested, the cheapest was the Google Cardboard at £10. The most expensive was the HTC Vive at £750. The main other criteria we looked at were the graphics and gaming experience, the range of games available and ease of use. Tethered systems. There are really only three headsets to consider here at the moment: Sony PlayStation VR, HTC Vive and Oculus Rift. The Vive and Oculus will both need to be hooked up to a fairly powerful PC, while the PSVR obviously requires a PlayStation 4. Virtual reality has finally come of age. 1. PlayStation VR, £349.99. Game. The PSVR is an attractive piece of kit, all white curved plastic and unnecessary, but cool looking, LEDs. It is the cheapest of the three systems, though you will have to shell out another £40 for the PlayStation camera if you don't have one. The headset won't work without it. The VR launch bundle is around £400 and comes with two Move motion sensor controllers, which allow you to play a wider variety of games. Setup is simple but does result in a bundle of cables around the living room. It's important to get the setup right or the tracking doesn't work properly, which spoils the whole experience. Sony's tracking system seems to be vulnerable to the odd glitch, but generally this is not an issue. Unlike the Vive, you can't turn full 360 degrees, but it's not far off and this doesn't hamper the experience. In terms of gaming, the visuals are impressively rendered, only slightly less crystal clear than the more expensive PC systems and well ahead of the phone-based headsets. Where the PSVR excels is the number of games available, something which has been an issue for other systems, though it is improving. We particularly enjoyed Farpoint, a first-person shooter, and Eve, Valkyrie, which perhaps best shows off the benefits of VR, as you fly through space in the cockpit of a fighter craft and get a real feeling of scale and speed that you don't get with traditional gameplay. 2. HTC Vive, £759. Curries. HTC's Vive is at the top end of the market and presents some truly stunning graphics. It is the most complete of the three tethered systems we looked at. You won't have to buy a whole host of extra accessories to use it to its full potential, though you will need a high-spec PC. The bundle includes a headset, motion controllers, and external sensors for setting up a virtual room to play in. These allow full 360-degree gaming, which makes for the most realistic experience and allows you to move around the room without going out of range. You do really feel part of the VR world in a way that the other headsets can't quite match. There isn't quite the variety of games available for the PSVR, but there are enough to keep all but the most hardened gamer entertained. It's not as nice to look at as Sony's offering, but this scarcely matters since you'll be on an alien planet when you're wearing it. This is a great system overall, but the downside is the price. It's £750 for the headset bundle, but if you don't have a computer capable of running it, you'll probably have to spend that much again to get up and running, meaning it's certainly not for everyone. 3. Oculus Rift, £499. John Lewis. The Oculus Rift is perhaps what comes to most people's minds when they think about VR. It was the first to be announced way back in 2012, when it began as a Kickstarter project before being bought out by Facebook for $2 billion. The full mass market version was released in 2016 and it was worth the wait. Like the Vive, you'll need a pretty fast computer to run it at its best, and the extra Oculus Touch motion sensor controllers, £99, are highly recommended. With a fairly understated black design, the headset is not quite as stylish as Sony's, but it's comfortable. Setup on the PC is simple, just plug it in and follow the walkthrough on the software. The Oculus Touch controllers are as responsive, fluid and natural feeling the Vive's, and the gameplay is very similar. The 110-degree field of view means the virtual reality world feels like it's really wrapped around your head. Graphics are sharp, although, remember that performance will depend to some extent on your PC hardware.